What's going on, everybody? I'm sure you're getting a little stir crazy stuck at home right now, so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to work on a very challenging movement that we don't see very often in class, if at all. We don't see it in class very frequently because there's a lot of complicated steps to this movement. So now, while you're stuck in your living rooms for hopefully only another week or so, we can really dial in on these steps and become comfortable with them, and then hopefully start to implement them into class with maybe some heavier weight loads. The movement we're gonna do today is called Turkish Get Up. I'm gonna put a little bit of a spin on it and teach it the way that I'm most comfortable with, and hopefully it helps you guys accelerate your progress with it quicker. Just before we get started, this movement is pretty demanding and might not be right for all of us. So if you already have an issue with a body weight lunge or just the act of getting onto and off of the floor, then this movement is going to be super challenging for you, and I recommend doing it next to a countertop to help hold yourself, or doing it unloaded with no extra weight to start with. The first one we'll do today, I'm just going to do with a random object I have laying around, just my water bottle, so that it's nothing too demanding weight-wise. And then we'll go through the differences with a kettlebell or a dumbbell or just a random plate that you have sitting at home. So whatever piece of equipment, whatever object you have, we can kind of make it appropriate for you to use with that. But one more time, the object that you have, start very, very light. It's very easy to overload this movement, especially if you're not super comfortable with a lunge to begin with. So there's gonna be a lot of coordination things going on, so I'm gonna show about 5 per side. Watch 1 through first to get a big idea of what the whole movement is, and then follow along and we'll do it together. So the first thing, we're gonna take our object and just stabilize it up overhead. It's very important that this shoulder stays close to the ear in the beginning, and that this shoulder and object stay pressed very high and active throughout the whole movement. If this gets lazy, the whole movement goes away. So I have the object in my right arm. Make sure the object's in your right arm. And we're gonna start by lunging backward with the opposite leg. So the left leg is gonna lunge backward, all right? Now, at this moment, we need to create some space here. So I'm gonna take the leg on the same side as the object. So in this rep, it's gonna be my right leg, and open it up towards the object 45 degrees. And that's gonna give me this perfect position to kind of lean forward into what we call a kickstand position with that opposite free arm. In this case, it's the left arm. From this position, we have the hardest part of the whole movement. My back foot, my left foot, it needs to swing through out in front of me. So this arm, the left arm that's holding you and blocking your body up like a kickstand, hold really stable and swing that left foot all the way through. Make sure you're keeping your hips up and you're using your glutes to stay engaged here. We don't want to be sagging too low. And again, this object needs to be very actively held overhead. We can't have our shoulder crumbling here. All right? From this position, you're going to let your butt lower to the ground. And then we're gonna lay back with our elbow, and then finally lay all the way down. This is the halfway point. I'm still stabilizing this object aggressively, and now I have to use my abs only to sit up back to the elbow, then press up back to the kickstand, then lift the hips, and now we have to swing back where we started. So that left foot out in front of me, I need to swing it behind me. It's gonna come through back to the knee. I'm gonna come up off of my kickstand, bring my knee back in those 45 degrees, and stand back to where I started. That's 1 Turkish get up with the object in the right arm. Let's switch to the left arm. I'm gonna start going a little bit faster now that you know the whole movement. So left arm stabilizes up, right leg lunges back. The left leg opens 45 degrees towards the object, and that opens up this spot for my kickstand with the right arm. I block an active right arm and swing that right leg all the way through. Hips drop down. I drop to the elbow, I lie down, here I am, halfway. Sit back up to the elbow, push back up to the kickstand, lift the hips, and then swing the leg back to the knee. I'm off the kickstand, I come back in those 45 degrees with the knee, and I'm back to my feet. There are so many steps to get just 1 rep done on both arms. So if that was overwhelming and confusing, re-watch that rep with the unloaded weight. Maybe a water bottle, maybe just your fist, a tissue box, a roll of toilet paper, whatever the heck you have. But if you're not comfortable with all those steps right now, continue to replay this video and repeat with the unloaded object. As we go to these other objects, we don't have room for error here, especially if you're in your living room. We can't afford to drop a dumbbell and ruin your floor, or drop a kettlebell and mark anything up or hurt yourself. So continue to practice that unloaded version. Even if you follow along now, continue with that tissue box or water bottle, and we'll start to speed things up. If you have a dumbbell is a great option here, but be aware, now that we have a weight in our hand, this shoulder must remain active and you must remain pressing towards the ceiling. If you're not comfortable with the stability of that shoulder, I recommend staring at the object the whole time. Eye contact with the object will help you a lot, keeping it stable. We're back in our right arm overhead, left leg lunges back. Right leg opens towards the side of the object, 45 degrees. The left arm comes down as the kickstand, and notice how my arm rotates to stabilize straight to the ceiling. My shoulder's starting to twist slightly behind me here to keep that dumbbell stabilized straight up. Swing through with that left leg. Hips drop down. Come to the elbow. Lie down flat. And now the heavier this object is, the harder this sit-up's gonna be. Sit up and press right to the sky. Kickstand up to the hand. Hips in the air. Swing that left leg through. I'm on my knee, I come off of that kickstand. Close that 45 degrees again with the knee, and back to your feet. This shoulder should be pretty tired after all that. Switch to the left side, and up. Good, dumbbell once again. Solid grip, press to the sky. Right leg lunges back. Left leg opens 45 degrees towards that object. Right arm comes down as my kickstand. This is the most important part to stabilize with that shoulder. Notice how I'm staring at the object. This is my non-dominant hand, so I'm a little bit less steady. I like to watch the object a little bit closer here to keep it still. Right leg swings through, hips down, elbow down, lie down. All right, tough sit up coming up. Punch right to the sky. Push off the elbow onto the hand, hips in the air. Bring that knee back. Come up off the kickstand. Close that 45-degree angle with the knee, and come to a standing position. 2 in the books. We're doing 3 more together, and then I'll let you guys play around with it on your own. If you have an awkward object like a plate, this is probably the most uncomfortable thing we can do this with. Make sure it's the appropriate weight. Something too heavy is going to wreak havoc on your wrist, but something too light might not be effective enough. All right? Stay with me, guys. We're going to go a little bit quicker. Right arm in the object. Left leg lunges back. Right leg opens towards the object, 45 degrees. Left hand to the ground. Left leg swings through. Hips down. Elbow down. Lie down. Sit up to the elbow. Up to the hand. Hips up. Left leg swings back. Off the kickstand. Close that 45 degree with the knee. And stand back up. To the left side, guys. Remember, actively stabilize this shoulder. We don't want to see what happens when this shoulder gets lazy and buckles, especially not if you're in your living room. All right, right leg lunges backward. Left leg opens towards the object, 45 degrees. Right hand reaches for the floor. Swing that leg in front. Hips down, elbow down, lie down. Punch to the ceiling, up to the hand. Hips in the air. Swing that right leg back. Get off the kickstand. Close the angle with the knee. And stand up. Guys, the slower you go here, the tougher it is in the core, the more demanding it is in the shoulders, so going slow is great. If you go quicker, you just add more volume. It all really depends on what weight you have at home. If your weight's really light, go a little bit quicker, do a lot of reps. If your weight's really heavy, go slow and be safe. Now, a kettlebell. This is my favorite object to do it with. Most important thing is get a good grip on it and let it rest gently on the back of the wrist, all right? That's gonna help guide it in the right position here. If your kettlebell is heavy, this is gonna be the way you have to go about it, all right? Keep it flopped in the back of the wrist. We'll do it this way, and if your kettlebell's really light, I'll show you an even more challenging way. So we have 2 left together. Right arm up. We're going even faster, guys. Left leg lunges back. Right leg opens towards the object, 45 degrees. Kickstand down, leg swings in front, hips down, elbow down, lie down. Punch to the ceiling. This is where I love the kettlebell. It's the easiest to punch up from this position. up onto the kickstand, hips up. Swing that leg behind, off the kickstand, close the angle with the front knee, stand. Switch arms. Left leg up, or left arm up, I should say. Right leg lunges back. Left leg opens 45 degrees towards the object. Down into the kickstand, leg swings through. Hips down, elbow down, lie down. Keep this active. Punch to the ceiling. Get up to the hand. Hips high. Bring the leg back. Continue to punch here. This might be the toughest position for someone with really tight shoulders. Keep pulling back and stare at the object to help out while you do it. Off the kickstand, close the angle, and stand up. All right, guys, for the last one, if you have a light enough kettlebell, all right, be sure that you're comfortable with this. This takes a lot of strength in the wrist and a lot of focus. We are going to try and do this with the bottom of the kettlebell up. I do not recommend you attempting this with anything heavier than a 20, depending on who you are and how strong you are, but make sure you can comfortably hold this kettlebell upside down, squeeze tight enough with the wrist, and do a couple presses without it getting all floppy on you before you even attempt this, all right? If you need a lighter kettlebell, let us know. Come steal one. Here we go. Bottoms up kettlebell. For this one, do not stop staring at the kettlebell because it's very easy to get off balance. Eyes in the kettlebell. Left leg lunges back. Right knee opens towards the object. Kickstand down. Leg swings through. Hips down. Elbows down. Lie down. Punch up. Up to the hand. Hips up. Leg comes back. Off the kickstand. Close the angle. Stand to finish. Last one together, guys. Left arm upside down. Good. Stabilize. Right leg lunges back. Left knee opens towards the object. Kickstand is down, leg swings through, hips down, elbow down, lie down. Keep staring at that object, especially in your non-dominant hand. Punch to the sky, up to the hand, hips, leg swings back, off the kickstand, close the angle, stand up. Congrats, guys. Those are your 5 first Turkish get-ups. Keep practicing. Use different objects, use different weights. Go slow, go fast, have fun with it. It's great for your core. It's worked wonders on the stability and strength of my shoulders. I used to have weird impingements and weak range of motion, and now they feel more stable and healthier than ever. I think I'm covering everything. Good luck, guys.